Okay, ladies, I'm going to try this one more time. Trying to explain to you how to do the block F. I did add a little picture down here on this to try to help. And again, on here, I did find an error that I had wrote on step 3. That should say 3.5 instead of 4. I guess that's what you get for doing it in the middle of the night. Anyway, I'm going to go through here the steps to show you how to do this. I'm assuming most of you all know how to do the half square triangles. Okay, so we know with half square triangles, pretty sides together or right sides together. You put them together, you draw your diagonal line. You can, if you just draw one line, you can sew 1/4 of an inch on each side, or if you put 2 lines, then you stitch on the 2 lines that you've drawn and cut it apart. So after you put your lines on there, this way, and then you cut it apart right down the middle, either using your rotary cutter or your pair of scissors, or whichever way you want to do it. It gives you 2 half square triangles. After you get your 2 half square triangles, you want to square these up to 3.5. Now you probably could use a 4-inch to have gotten this, but I know sometimes it's better to go a little bit bigger with some to make sure that they get a good size and they don't cut it off short. So when you want to square this up, I use a Quilting a Day square up ruler. It's for your square triangles. Different ones make them, but then I can do it before I open it up. If I don't do it that way, then I have to open it up and let me cut them little dog ears off. Open it up and press it. I would open it up like this, press it, and then square it up to 3.5 inches. So I really love this tool, you guys. So now I can open this up and press it, and I will have a 3.5 inch triangle. So now after I have those, this is where it gets started with your split 1/4 square triangle. You have your 3.5 inch square of your fabric F, and then you have your triangle, which is 3.5 inch square also now. Now on the opposite side of this, you can draw it on here. The pattern said to draw it on this. I typically would have said to draw it on this side, but I went by what the pattern, called for. So opposite of where we have stitched, I've drawn a diagonal line. Now that is how this section is here on figure 3, how it is laid out here. I've got this is my sew line here. This is the cut line. You hear that? And then I've got that diagonal line. That's what that is. Now, so you want to lay this out, and how I lay it is, that's why I went ahead and I draw this out. Go ahead and lay it so your material is like this. Your fabric 8 is here on the bottom, and this has got your fabric, I did that right backwards. This way. Your fabric 8 is here on the top here, on the bottom, and your fabric F is here. Now we're gonna lay this right on top of that, like that. Now, when I flip that over, I've already drawn that line. I'm going to sew right up through that line. Now, you go ahead and sew that for you. A spider here. Now, when you cut this, then you want to make sure that you get it on the exact side that you want it. So you want it to look like this. your big side of your fabric 4 is always going to go to these corners here. See that, how that's going to that corner? So that's how you want that to lay out. If I laid it like that, it would be wrong, because if I put it like that, you can see how that's going to be wrong. My fabric is not going to be the right way that it needs to be. So if I lay it down here, like this, and I've laid it down and I got it looking just like what that picture is in that diagram there. I want to do every one of them just exactly like this. So for each block, I'm going to do 4 of these. I'm going to have 4 of them. Now let me cut the back off of this. I don't use a ruler. You can use scissors. You can use rotary cutter. You can draw your line or whatever you want to do. And then you're going to want to press them on. And then you'll put them together, like, you know, how this, well, this one ain't done. Let's see, I thought I might have another one done. But anyway, you're going to lay these all out. This one is completed here. So you can see how this one is turned like that. This one here. This one's turned like that. This one I rotated around to look like this. Down here at the bottom. And then if you make 2 just like this, that whole bottom will flip around and it will be right. So when you're sewing these together, you sew two patches like this. 1, 2. Join 2 of them, and then one of them, flip it around, and then sew your block together, and it will look like this. So all it is watching how you lay that square on top of that, and that's your block that you get. But you got to make 5 of these. So you know, it's not really a hard block. It's just paying attention to what you're doing. Again, you lay that out on top of that. With this one here, you lay it right sides together like this, and you draw. Now I don't have this one cut just right. You draw your diagonal line opposite of what your thing is here, and then that's when you sew it. And when you open it up, you want to make sure, see, like that would not be right. So before I cut it, you want to flip it to make sure you get it the right side, that how you're supposed to do it. So that way, because you're just doing a flip corner, you're drawing one line on it and you're sewing directly on that line when you do your split quarter square triangle. So that makes that part there, and that's how you get that. So I hope this video helps. If you need anything, just give me a shout out. I'm going to try to post it on YouTube, and I'll try to share it. So just let me know if you understand it better. Happy sewing.